Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Conditions that created Biafra. Nigerian civil war still present and getting worse. Prof. Falola speaks. Conditions that created Biafra. Nigeria's civil war still present and getting worse. Prof. Falola speaks. To my dear listeners from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. Falola is the African's eminent professor of history, a university distinguished teaching professor, and the Jacob and Sanger Musica Chair in the Humanities, the University of Texas at Austin. He is an honorary professor, University of Cape Town, and president of Pan-African University Press. He has received 3 Yoruba chieftaincy titles, over 30 lifetime career awards, and more than 14 honorary doctorates. In this interview, Professor Falola touches on issues surrounding questions of identity, nationhood, and the place of history in Nigeria's quest for development. As guest speaker at the second distinguished lecture series organized by the Department of History and International Studies of the Lagos State University, Ojo. Your choice of topic? History and the nation. How appropriate was that at this time? When I was invited to give their second distinguished lecture, it came at a time when political parties were doing their primaries, when many people were complaining about their country, issues surrounding development, and it occurred to me that I could address two issues. One, the contemporary realities of Nigeria, or second, the historical foundations to understand these contemporary problems. So I chose to blend the two of them, consolidate them, and arrive at history and the nation. By blending them, I would be able to speak to these contemporary challenges, while at the same time tackling their root and giving me the opportunity to conclude the argument that whatever people complain or they are angry about, there is a history to it, and that anger, that history becomes necessary to map out a future with solutions. One of the fundamental problems that the country is faced with today is the issue of cultural identity. This is causing some clashes in Nigeria's struggle for togetherness. It appears that Nigeria is fragmented along that area. How is Nigeria getting this wrong? Bear in mind that when we chose a federal system, what accounted for that choice was the issue of the ethnic divide. Even when they chose that federal system, the divide was so strong that it led to 3 main regions. Before the 60s, they created the Midwest to add to that divide. Bear in mind the political strategy in creating the Midwest. There were combined elements of alliances of northern politicians with others to further fragment the western region. That fragmentation and a wide range of crises led to the first coup and counter-coup of the 60s. The attempt by Ironsi for a unitary system of government to displace the federal with the argument that with the unitary system, it would reduce some of the conflict associated with the ethnic divide. That was rejected. The Civil War began. That Civil War, with the loss of many lives calculated around 1970 at 1 million, did not solve the problem. In other words, all the conditions that created the Civil War 1967-1970 remained, and they are getting worse. One could argue that the ethnic divide and tensions have escalated in recent times on issues around terrorism, banditry leading to the demand for state police. In the case of Amotekun, attacks between farmers and pastoralists, the encroachment of herdsmen into other parts of the country. The way the Buhari government structured its administration with the impression that all the agencies, principal actions of government are controlled by his own tribe. People in the south are looking at the cabinet and other key areas, and the impression is that the Fulani are consolidating themselves in power. This is also further accentuated by the current struggle for presidential power in terms of how the nominations were conducted. This ethnic divide has gotten far worse. This is called the mismanagement of diversity. Diversity has a lot of advantage in your food, in your clothes, in the languages, in performance and literature, in Nollywood. To my dear listeners, now I've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let us know what